You are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I started a new form of meditation 2 days ago, and I think I've found the one I'm going to stick with. So I've been meditating now for I don't know how long, 9 months, a year, something like that, and it doesn't seem like it's working, but it actually is. You can tell it's working when you accidentally miss a day or deliberately miss a day or two, and you end up down at your local supermarket with a torn t-shirt and a cleaver ready to hack to death the fucking checkout guy because he put the wrong fucking bananas through. He put the $4.90 bananas through instead of the $3 bananas. And in that moment, you just pause to yourself. You're like, do I really care this much about the bananas? Or is it because I missed meditation for one day? But I've been doing this meditation called shamatha. I think that's what it's called. Shamatha. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter what it's called because I don't do any of the other shit around it. It's basically just focusing on your breath. Trying to focus all your attention onto the breath. If a thought comes in, you just let the thought dissipate and get back to your breath. I need a shit. Am I gay? Why did Edward Norton fake smoke cigarettes in Birdman? The thoughts come in. There's nothing you can do about it, but the practice is to get back to your breath. Let the thoughts disappear and get back to your breath. And it is fucking hard. And the problem for me with that type of meditation is you start getting frustrated because you can't concentrate on your breath for that long. It's so fucking hard. I've been doing it for almost a year now, and some days are better than others, but most days it takes me about 10 minutes to finally count 10 breaths out. Like, 1, without getting distracted and losing count. It's just fucking hard. Something will come in to distract you, some fucking random thought. And so a lot of the time with that style of meditation, for me, I can get angrier in the meditation than if I just didn't meditate at all. And when I first started that meditation, I tell you what, I could barely do fucking 5 minutes without going nuts. Then 15 minutes became pretty easy. Now I can do half an hour and it's pretty easy, although my thoughts are just going fucking wild all the time and I'm always constantly trying to bring myself back to the breath. So I started this new form of meditation. It's called fucking let it roll. Just let it go wild, baby. That's what it's called. Let it fucking roll. I found this guy, an Indian American guy, Naval Ravikant. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. I don't know, but he was on a bunch of different podcasts and he sounds like a real smart fucking dude. Listen to him if you can find him. And he's like a multi-millionaire. He was an early investor in like Twitter, Uber and all that sort of shit. So he doesn't sound like he would be your normal fucking guru. But I can change gurus at the drop of a hat. It doesn't matter. One day it's Dino, next day it's Naval Ravikant. So this guy's method of meditation is you just sit there and you don't concentrate on anything. You just let your mind fucking roll. You just let the thoughts come in. Whatever thoughts are happening, just let it bombard you. Just take a back seat and fucking watch them come and go. And you can engage with them as well. But mainly you just sit there and watch your own fucking thoughts. And the aim is to just let your fucking thoughts burn themselves out until you get to a state of emptiness. Or as Naval likes to call it, inbox zero. So you got nothing in there cluttering your shit up. It's all burnt out. You've processed everything. But the thing is with this particular meditation is it takes longer. So you've got to do minimum an hour. Because I can tell you right now, the first 2 days I've fucking done it. It takes about 45 minutes for your mind to even fucking slow down a little bit. It's just bombarding you with fucking crazy shit the whole time. So it does take a little bit longer, but I find that this method is more like surfing, even though I've never surfed in my entire life. I feel like it's a bit like surfing. You know when you're in the barrel of a wave and you don't know whether you're going to make it to the end or not. Again, I'd like to remind you that I've never surfed in my entire life and I can't even stand up on a fucking surfboard. It's like when you're in that barrel. The spray's coming at ya. It's peaceful in there. You put your hand out, you touch the wave. Again, I've never surfed, but I've watched a lot of surfing videos. Not even that many surfing videos. No, but seriously, this method just feels like the pressure is off. You don't feel like you're doing anything wrong because there's nothing wrong to do. You just sit there and watch your thoughts. And whatever happens in that hour just fucking happens. It doesn't matter. So it's a lot more pleasurable as well. Whereas the shamatha style, where you're trying to focus on your breath and you're trying to breathe out the fucking thoughts, you sort of get angry at yourself. You're like, I'm fucking crazy. Why can't my mind slow down? I just want to concentrate on the breath. This style of meditation, it's just running wild. So you sort of just look at yourself and you go, fuck, I'm insane. And it sort of makes you laugh. You're like, fuck, I had no idea how fucking insane I was. And when you're looking at your thoughts for a full hour, you realize you have no fucking control of what's coming in. You're just sitting back and watching the fucking freak show. Some shit pops up and you're like, where the fuck did that come from? I had some fucking flashes of shit come up this morning. I'm like, is that even a creature? Is that an earthly creature? I've never even seen that thing before in my life. What is it? Where did that come from? It was like an alien animal humanoid type thing. And I'm like, where the fuck were you buried? What were you doing? Are you why my knee's sore? Have you been hiding in my fucking knee this whole time? And now I'm just getting rid of you and hopefully my knee gets better now? And the hour goes pretty fucking quickly too. It won't go quickly at the start if you've never meditated before. It will feel like torture for the first 6 weeks of doing it. An hour's a long fucking time to sit there. And you get pretty uncomfortable. I sit there with crossed legs and my shirt off because I'm starting to get that fucking rig happening. But if you don't have a good rig and you don't want God to see you with your shirt off, just wear a shirt and sit in a comfortable chair. Don't sit cross-legged like me. I'm a professional meditator. I wouldn't recommend crossing your legs unless you've got a lot of flexibility in your hamstrings and hip flexor, which I don't, but I push through because I'm a professional meditator. Also, because you're looking at your thoughts and you're processing them as well. I know it sounds counterintuitive to meditation where you're not meant to have any fucking thoughts, but you need to process the thoughts you have. That's what it feels like anyway, because once you process them, they fuck off and they don't really come back. Some come back, some don't. And because you're processing them, you start having epiphanies. Like today, I realized thoughts are just fuel for your mind. Like actual fuel keeps it running. And your mind is basically split into two parts. You've got the ego and you've got yourself. And the bad thoughts fuel your ego and expands your ego. So the more bad type of thoughts, fear, anger, hate, all that sort of shit, just feeds directly into the pipe of the ego, and then it expands and grows bigger and bigger. But the opposite happens when you have fucking good thoughts. That just nourishes the self, and the ego begins to shrink, so it doesn't get in your way as much. And both of them are insatiable, the ego and the self. So the ego will never get filled, no matter what you fucking throw into it. It will never be big enough. It will eventually destroy you, but it will never be satiated. And the same with the self. But the self is more in line with the good thing. That's the epiphany I had. But obviously I haven't put it into work yet because I still think everyone's a cunt. But yeah, like little epiphanies like that happen. But after about 45 minutes, things start quietening down. They start slowing down. The thoughts come in slower. They leave faster. And then you just end up in this sort of emptier sort of space. It's still not completely empty, especially for me at the moment, since I've been doing it for 2 days. But you can feel it. The weight's coming off. And when you're in that space, you feel a lot freer. It's really nice. I've only done it 2 days, but it's been great. I'm going to stick with this one. And the best thing about it is you can't do anything wrong in there. It's just an hour by yourself, really. Essentially, that's what it is. No win, no fail. There's nothing you need to do besides shut your fucking eyes, shut your mouth, except for breathing, and just ride out the hour. That's all you need to do. Even if you spend the hour going, fuck, I hate this sucks. After 2 or 3 days of doing that, you'll bore yourself half to death saying this sucks, I hate this. Eventually some shit's going to pop up and then you can get started. Anyway, that's me done for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around. Also, send us in some fucked up Friday stories. You've been slack the last couple of weeks. Send them into my social media. I'm Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And I will see you the fuck later.